whenever you're ready.
Recording
Oh,
started.
we're about to go. We're
Oh,
about to start
all
right. And we're about to start now.
Then Brendan left.
Oh shit!
Welcome to Stuck in My Mind podcast, the show where we dive into the mind of a regular guy on his road to self-discovery. You'll hear everyday people just like you share the latest topics, personal stories, and things they've learned along the way. And now, please welcome your host, Wise.
And welcome to another episode. I have a crazy group of guys with me today. There's some fellow podcasters from the law office of Quibble, Squabble, and Bicker. I laugh every time I say it. Welcome to the show, guys. Hold on, let me put Brendan on the show.
Is he coming in?
I don't know.
Why
Brendan
is I
is.
gotta say you're?
No, I gotta put him in. It's my fault. I'm having like technical difficulties over here with my mouse. There we go.
I gotta
Wise
say
is
that
on
little
his
cartoon
voyage of
version
self-discovery.
Your cartoon version of
We're,
you.
we're
under
just
the
having
logo,
nothing but technical difficulties right now.
It's always
I think
fun.
I'm
that
here.
little
Am
cartoon
I here?
version of you.
I hear
your
you,
emoji,
Brendan.
It doesn't look nearly as cool as you do. You should get another cartoon version of you.
Greg is always
look
so
cooler.
helpful.
You look cooler in real life than that cartoon version of you.
Greg,
We-
I'm
we-
glad you
Me?
had extra amounts.
Yeah,
of
I saw the
before we
logo.
started.
It has a little cartoon version of you.
Oh,
It
you know I
says
love
Wise El Jefe, and it's like that doesn't look like Wise. That looks like a nerdy guy like me. It looks like some nerd.
No, that's me.
All right, thanks, Greg.
All right, well, that's useful, Greg. Thanks a fucking lot.
Hey, I'm doing constructive criticism here.
It's useless
No, it's
It's
useless
fun.
criticism.
because he's trying to run his own
All right.
show and you interrupted him, you dumbass.
No, he was.
It's-
Welcome to the show. Here's a random guy with a mohawk and an owl
So,
talking shit
this is-
all over it.
All right, so everybody know that this is what I went through when I was on their show as well. This is not nothing new, but it's new for y'all because I never experienced this. But I went through this when I was on their show. But welcome to the show, guys.
Hey, thanks for
Thanks
having
for
us.
having us, Wise.
I'm glad that I'm continuing my voyage of self-discovery with you today.
Yeah, so
can stop doing that,
the
man.
floating head in the corner over there, the mighty sandwich eater is Matt.
Hello.
We have Mohawk guy down there is Greg, and then the dot Brendan.
The
Yes.
dot. Brendan
I'm
is
also-
the dot.
I'm Hal 9000 from 2001. No, Greg, you're
The
too
Brendan
drunk,
Odyssey.
Greg.
I know. I'm just drunk enough.
Wait, you're drunk already?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's my
I don't
point.
know what happened. Something happened.
Already. I left you at like 2 o'clock, at 1 o'clock in the morning drunk.
Yeah,
And
and
you're-
then I
you're
sobered up.
continue
and then I
to
started
be
get
drunk.
Well, he's celebrating his
my.
birthday month, not just his day.
Right.
It's the month.
I think it is birthday year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still celebrating.
Oh yeah, I'm still celebrating. My birthday was
I'm
in
just
July.
kind of imagining myself as part of the movie The Adventures of Baron Munchausen, when like Robin Hood was just a floating head. It's kind
I think you're more Wizard of Oz, but a really bad B version of it.
No, he's Max Headroom.
the
No,
bad
Max
eyesight
Headroom was a
Wizard
little
of
bit
Oz.
cooler. But
Anything
okay,
is
guys,
cooler
so
than me.
what made y'all like? I just want to know what made y'all start your podcast. Like, where did y'all come up with the concept? Like, tell them what your podcast is about. First of all,
Brendan, can you tell everybody what the podcast is about?
What the podcast is about? Well, the podcast was started before I arrived. There we go. Now I have an avatar, right?
Yes.
It looks just like you, actually.
Yeah. So the podcast started before I arrived, and the idea was that these two clowns had these like drunken conversations and thought that they should record them because people might want to listen to them. And then the law firm idea, I don't know where that came from, but yeah, the hook is that essentially we have a client, and that client is usually some topic of bizarreness, and then we debate or lawyer up the client. Sometimes we put him on trial, and we try to keep Greg from passing out on camera. That's pretty much the show.
Because Greg actually has his own podcast where he actually has passed out in the middle of recording his podcast.
For
Live?
half an hour.
He recorded himself asleep for his own
Snoring.
personal podcast.
Snoring loudly.
It wasn't live. That would have been way more awesome. But yeah, no, it wasn't live. But
Yeah, he was live,
Oh,
but
no.
the podcast wasn't.
That's nothing. My partner, she was recording a live, and she lives out in San Diego, and I had gotten up to get ready to go to work. This was about like 3:00 in the morning, and I see that she's going live, and I'm messaging her, and she's just not moving. Like, next thing I know, I just see her sliding down. So as the show is progressing, you just see her just disappearing more and more from the camera.
slowly falling off of the camera.
Yeah, to the point where she
Like
just
the
completely
sunset.
disappears.
Like the sun setting, just slowly going lower.
Oh,
and lower.
I was calling her, texting her, nothing. And then the next morning I actually saved the video and played it back for my other partner to show it to him. And it was just hilarious.
That's awesome. That may be a future episode of Greg's podcast about, what is it, comic books?
Yeah, I don't videotape it though, so you wouldn't see me.
Oh, that's no fun.
You just hear me snoring.
That's Greg barking right now too.
Yeah, that's my dog barking, which is way more distracting than Matt bouncing around in the background over there.
Yeah, Matt, did
That's
you
a
take
head.
a Ritalin today?
What?
Did
What's
you
the
take your
problem?
Ritalin?
He's having
I
fun
don't
with
know
the
what you're
green
talking
screen,
about.
guys. He doesn't get to do that on Zoom.
It's true. I'd be
I know,
doing
but
this
you know,
every
Matt
week.
is a very sedentary guy. I've never seen this much movement from him.
I have to place my head appropriately in front of my face. There we go. All back to normal now. So if anybody wants to know
So
what
Greg,
Greg
I
looks
take it,
like, he's
Greg,
the
I
one
take
with
it you're the
glasses.
comic relief.
What?
You're the comic relief.
No, I'm just a buffoon. Gets drunk
Yeah.
and spouts out shit.
Yeah,
You know,
Greg is the comic relief, and I'm the philosophical underpinning, and Matt is the I don't know, the head.
Oh wait, philosophical
I am
underpinning?
merely the
Is that what
head.
you see yourself, Brendan?
No,
Yeah, the bouncing
I
head.
wouldn't say any one of us is any one thing.
No, Brendan is the surly squabbler.
Yeah, I'm the one that usually gets pissed first.
Yeah, he gets pissed
That's
off.
true.
So I guess that's my role.
He's a fighting Irish.
Greg gets drunk first.
Yeah.
Brendan gets cranky first, and I laugh at pretty much everything. I'm
Especially your own
I'm
jokes.
just the laugh track is what I am.
Yeah, for your own jokes.
That's all I
I
Mine
am the
and everyone else's.
I am the only one that's been assaulted on the air. You know, I have that
Yes.
distinction.
That's true. His wife came in and whacked him in the head once while we were running a show.
Wise, we captured it on film.
It was
Watch
it was
Oh,
it was
man,
not
that's
something
what- that
planned
would've been-
whatsoever.
I would have been playing that every highlights from that that would have been just a clip for the highlight. Like, tune in, see Brendan get smacked.
Oh, that was definitely in the show notes on YouTube. I need to actually put a
It was
timestamp
like an
on it for
episode
people.
of When Animals Attack. Like we actually captured on film.
When loving wives can't take it anymore, attack.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they're trying to get to sleep, and I'm talking about the relationship between not smoking anymore, watching Greg smoke, and feeling aroused. That was just
That's
went too
right.
far.
That's right. He was like he was actually making orgasmic noises, and
Yeah.
that's when his wife came in and hit him in the head because
You're
Greg
supposed to
was
make
taunting
those
him
with
with his
me.
cigarettes.
She said.
I thought you were saying that, Greg.
Well, I wish everyone was making orgasmic noises with me.
Everyone.
Everyone
All
I
right,
know.
we'll get Trump to do that with you then.
Sure. Any port in a storm.
So you're saying that your standards don't go any lower than anybody's. They go
Pretty
way
low.
beyond.
Yeah.
You're like, Trump in a heartbeat is great.
Henry Kissinger, Sure, bring him on.
Henry, no, not Henry Kissinger.
I heard that he was a serious fuck hound, that guy. When he was saying out at Studio 54, he was fucking everything.
Really? Couches,
And he succeeded. Apparently, women were charmed by him.
ottomans.
I think it's that hair. We may
The
be
accent.
over. Wise's listeners may not be the same age as us, so they might be going Henry Kissinger.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
For those of
Bobo
you
Barbosa.
who are not historically inclined nor are old, Henry Kissinger was the Secretary of State under Richard Nixon.
Yes.
B.B. Rebozo.
Wise is since we've just taken control of your show, is there anything you'd like to tell us?
I see this.
It's a bad habit. It is kind of what happens because we
But
eventually wind up
you know
just
what? That's fine because that's what this
arguing
is
with each other.
This is the takeover. That's what I'm gonna name it. I'm just
a takeover.
yeah.
Well, I got the email, Wise, that you wanted to talk about football, so I wasn't really sure why we brought these other two yodels on, but
Yodel.
Oh,
yeah, you're a yodel.
I'm in 2 fantasy football leagues, and I won one and I lost in the other one. But
All I know is
Yeah.
after this
my
episode, he's going to be
Giants are
called
looking horrible,
unwise.
man. Yeah, my Giants are looking real bad.
It's early. It's
Are they
early.
looking like normal sized people now?
Why? You should join me. I have a fantasy comic book editor league.
Where he
Where
falls
we-
asleep when he's
Why
recording.
do fantasy? Like, oh, if I had the best comic artists, I pick and choose, just like fantasy football league.
I thought you were
Okay, so
still.
I don't think I know anyone. Probably Jose Caseta, whatever his name is.
Jose Canseco? He's a baseball player.
Oh yeah, no, not Canseco. I don't know. I don't know his name. I'm not.
I think Greg dropped the comic book thing. I think he's just doing a like a fetish site for people that want to fuck politicians. I think that's kind of what he's doing now. It's kind of like Wiki Feet, but it's different, you know.
It's this fantasy football politician fuckfest. Is that what it's called now?
Yeah. You pick your congressman, your sitting congressman, and then you get points every week for dumb shit that they say or fuck something up. It's
This
a
is
good game.
a great idea, Brendan. I want to
That's just not. But that's not fair because then you get certain states like California, Texas, Florida, New York, all those populous states. Those representatives are fucking morons.
I know. It's true. I mean, it's kind of like, there's going to be, but there's a max number, I think, in the rule book that says max number of Florida politicians you can have on your team. I think you're only allowed one because any Florida politician is going to get like double-digit points every week. like my governor DeSantis is running the board. He is the Tom Brady of dumb shit politics. Let me tell you.
He's the Vince McMahon.
Vince. Now we're changing sports, buddy. But yeah.
Do you guys want to hear my fantasy football league?
I want to
Sure.
hear your fantasies, basically. But go ahead.
Okay, so you're wearing a garter belt. And,
Uh-huh.
No, I'm kidding. No, my fantasy football league would be quarterback, Genghis Khan. Halfback, John Wayne Gacy. Defensive end,
A halfback.
my defensive end would be the Manson family. Because they would defend that shit.
And who would
That
play
would be
shortstop on your football team, Greg?
There's no such thing, Matt. That's baseball.
Just testing.
Oh, wow.
He caught one.
But the punter would be, I don't know, some French
It's
guy.
called the puntling, actually, Greg.
Yeah, the puntling would be some French guy who can't speak English well. Napoleon.
Napoleon would be the puntling
That's
for
my
your fantasy
full-on
football team.
fantasy football league. That's
Uh-huh.
full-on fantasy.
Who's the center?
Spider-Man.
I
thought
go.
I thought you was going with more historical figures. Like, how are you gonna put Spider-Man with all those other people?
Well, apparently
Exactly.
Spider-Man is historical.
Well, I was just going
Okay.
full-on fantasy.
Spider-Man was once
fantasy.
the ruler of Cambodia, but not many people know that.
The Killing Fields. He started the Killing Fields.
Right. The P, they say it's Pol Pot, but it was really Peter Parker.
Same
I never saw him in the
missions,
room at the same time.
That's true.
Yeah.
Pol Pot was
Yeah.
bitten by a radioactive spider.
Yes. Not many people know that, so that's why it works for him being on your fantasy football team.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
we've come to a standstill.
I had one of my leagues. I actually got my ass whooped in 200 to 150, and then the other one
Those numbers don't even
handed-
mean anything to me.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, let me explain that. Matt, 200 is 50 more than 150. So it's
Uh-huh.
more.
Yeah.
Is it logarithmic?
No. Yeah,
Okay.
no. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
more
mean, is
or
it kind of
less.
like tennis scores where you have like 30,
No.
60, and whatever?
No, it's like every
No.
player gets a certain amount of points. Some get more
Okay,
points
So
than
the
others.
guy I happened to have two of the highest scoring players of the week, which happened to
Oh.
be Patrick Mahomes and
Yeah.
he had
Billy
Tyler
Bob,
Lockwood
shoot 'em up.
from Seattle. Yeah. So,
Yeah. Now we're talking.
You guys should have had Waspy Soda Pop on that particular team. Right, Greg?
yeah, we should have.
Nobody knows who that is.
Might have helped
except
me
you
out
and
somewhat.
They will if they listen to today's episode. They'll know who Waspy
Yes.
Soda Pop is.
I
I'm
have
assuming
no-
Brendan has not listened to our most recent show, so he doesn't know who Waspy Soda Pop
I
is. either.
don't know who Waspy Soda Pop is. I
So,
was busy drinking in St. Petersburg and getting a tattoo. Yeah, that was all happening.
Well, on our episode that was published today, which our client for the day was Batman Wears a Diaper. That is our most recent episode. And
Damn, I'm so sorry I missed it.
I wish Brendan could show us his tattoo, but he can't.
You have to tune in next week.
I think his tattoo is that avatar he's got right now.
Yeah. I am Homestar Runner.
Homestar Runner.
Yes. You don't know who
Okay.
Homestar Runner is?
Well, it was,
That would be correct.
Only reason I knew my episode was up was because he sent the TikTok, and it was crazy as fuck.
Oh, the TikTok.
I sent you the links like the day
Yes, you
that they
did.
were published.
You did, and I got them. I was just saying, but it was
The
just,
real
it was
question
just
is
funny.
like, how much cannabis do you consume in a day? Is really the question here, Wise.
It's a lot.
Think that
It's a lot.
I think that's the real answer to why you didn't know.
It is a lot.
Bourbon, cannabis, it's all the same. It all helps us get.
I recorded a podcast and then I got high.
Yeah.
I was on Quibble, Squabble, and Bicker, but I was
Then
high.
I got high.
I think Greg's kind of cute, and I know why.
Why, Brendan? Why?
Because I got high. Because I got high. Because I got high.
This is the
Da-da-da-da. Sorry.
the Real Wise Productions karaoke hour with Brendan.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, right.
I love that song.
That's a good song.
Afro Man, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, some people call Brendan that too.
Yeah, they certainly do.
I
It's
have
like, when are you
a
going to
little-
grow an afro, man?
I have a stripe of an afro.
You have a tuft, is what you have.
Yeah.
You
but
have
it's
something you
grown
can
up to be an
shine
afro.
shoes with. It could give a good buffing. Is what that
But
is.
if I grew this out, it would be an afro.
I'm curious, Wise, as to what you're hoping to accomplish from this conversation with us.
I don't
Is
know.
there? You wanted to get to the bottom of something.
It's just not really. We can just just
okay.
here to have fun and let people experience the craziness of Squibble, Squabble, and Bicker.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
Because you
if
guys
that's
are
the
crazy.
case,
I think
if that's
Wise
the case, then
really
we're going to
wanna
just
see-
make this an annexation of our podcast. And
I think Wise really want to see a floating head, a drunken idiot, and an icon of what is that? Like a toilet tank? It's being sentience?
I thought it was like a post office box of some kind.
Yeah, something.
It's Homestar. It's Homestar Runner.
He's already like ridiculed me for not knowing what Homestar Runner was, but it seems like I'm not the only one who doesn't know
Lord
it.
of the Rings.
Yeah.
Just Lord of the Ring, not Lord of the Rings.
It's Pansy Soda Pop or whoever the hell you want to call it. I don't know shit. At least it was an image on my desktop, and so I grabbed it. I could choose another one if you'd like.
Yeah, actually, you flip through as many as you have.
Okay,
As long as you don't disconnect yourself.
I don't know. I can't promise that.
We don't want that. So on our episode that Greg and I recorded by ourselves because Brendan wasn't available and neither was our guest because our guest was sick, the client for the day was Batman Wears a Diaper, and so we went into a whole discussion about when superheroes have to use the restroom. When do they go? You never see it in the movies, and you never see it in the comic books, and it's never addressed. So we took it upon ourselves as a public service to get into that particular dynamic. So,
but we did.
I think Batman has. I think like Batman's suit is like it absorbs the piss. I don't know about the shit, but I think it might just absorb the piss.
It would be like the still suits from Dune, where the urine like actually gets transferred and created into water, so he can drink it again.
Maybe.
Nerd alert! Nerd alert!
What? Well, Dune's coming out, I think, at the next month. The new Dune movie, so it all fits, Greg. It's topical.
Oh, what show was it? I was on the show, and one of the hosts, he hates Dune, so his co-host tries to do anything he can to reference Dune.
We got to get on that show.
Oh my God.
We got to get on that show. I mean, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Oh,
nothing we like better than making other people uncomfortable. What show was that you were on?
Funny science fiction podcast.
Oh, okay. Funny science fiction. You know, I can't trust a podcast that puts the name funny in the front of it because that makes me go immediately, you're probably not funny, are you? You're probably not a funny podcast. Were they funny?
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool.
Okay. Well, no, wait.
Not as funny
Wait.
Not as crazy as you guys. Not as crazy as you guys.
I asked if they were funny. You said they were cool.
They're a little bit more tamer than you guys. They're
professionals, what you're saying? Okay, now he answered the question.
They're
truly
sober.
Professionals.
They're sober.
Hey, there's Brendan, a young Brendan.
Is that
with hair almost like Greg's?
That's right.
You almost look like a goth kid.
I kind of was. I was sort of a misfits.
That was when he was in his punk days, Greg. That was when he was like torching police cars.
It's almost a devil lock if you coiffed it more.
A devil lock. What the hell is a devil lock?
It wasn't
haircut.
Yeah, it was a devil lock. It was a devil lock.
You have like a point come down like this. You ever saw that Misfits?
They don't know what you're talking about, Greg. But yes, it was, and I was skateboarding, so it was all a little sweaty and nasty.
Okay,
so if that's a devil lock, what's a master lock?
That's something you lock your bike up with.
And so you should be able to do that with a devil lock too, I would think.
No, you can't. Not unless you're in hell.
What if it's a master devil lock?
You lose your soul if you use a devil lock.
Anyway, you wanted a different picture, so I found one, and I luckily found one that was actually me.
That's
30,
more
40 years ago.
representative of you than a toilet tank.
It's not a toilet anyway. Whatever
that was.
So anybody who's going to listen to this podcast, we're just here going crazy and having a good time. It's not my normal podcast, people.
Why aren't we part of your normal podcast?
Normal podcast.
His name is changing to Unwise El Jefe after the end of this one.
Hey, listen, I'm just telling the truth, man. This is nowhere near how.
Normally, people are just talking about. Let me tell you about my agenda. This is the problems I'm solving for the day.
Greg is like, be prepared for the shittiest podcast show you're gonna put out, and I'm like, damn.
Greg
Yeah.
always has high hopes of how things are going to
I
go.
do have an agenda
he
today.
had very high expectations for this show.
Brendan
I do
is
have an
usually the
agenda
voice
for
of
today,
reason.
Guys. I do want to talk about the dangers of vaccinating because there's microchips in your blood. I do want to do a public service announcement. Don't get vaxxed because Bill Gates will be able to know when you're having an erection. If you get vaxxed.
Oh, what? Hey,
It's serious.
can you light another cigarette in there, Zippy? Put something in your mouth to satisfy your oral fixation.
And to satisfy Brendan.
Yeah, exactly.
You satisfy Brendan's oral fixation at the same time.
Hey, now, I mean, COVID is COVID. I don't know why you got to talk all smacky backy about vaccinations.
Oh, that is a sore spot for Brendan because he got COVID recently because he wasn't vaccinated.
Yeah.
Well, I got COVID because I went to a super spreader event of a funeral, probably from a guy who died of COVID. No, he didn't die of COVID. He died of a heart attack. But everybody at the funeral got sick. That was pretty cool.
That's what makes the times we're living in so nice.
Oh yeah, it's
You
so
know-
exciting.
Yeah, you know what it tells me? Don't go to funerals.
Or get vaxxed before you go to a funeral.
Oh, well, yeah, because, if you get vaccinated, you won't get COVID. Right there, Spot.
No, you won't die from it, though.
I didn't die from it. I didn't
Well, you
die from
lucked
it.
out. Good for you. I'm happy you didn't die.
Oh, here we go. Go for it,
Actually,
guys.
I like Brendan. I actually don't. I want him to live.
Yeah, you know what? Here's the difference between me and a lot of people. I didn't give a shit if I did die. Boom.
He was willing to
taking beers?
experience it. He wanted to be in the ICU. That's what it was all about.
Yeah.
The sexy
He's like,
beers
I'm not going to
voice.
die, but I tell you, I'm going to get those resources from the hospital for my personal benefit. That's what I want.
Well, I got antibodies now, man. I'm safe.
I'm gonna get free Jello cups.
And the thing I was reading online is that unvaccinated sperm is going to be the next cryptocurrency. So watch out.
No,
Wrap it up,
I
man.
was having
It
this
is like-
discussion earlier with someone, and it's just crazy because
You're having a discussion about unvaccinated sperm being the next cryptocurrency?
no, not that. With the fact
Oh.
of with being vaccinated.
Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha.
that's a good idea. That is a big market eventually. If you are not vaccinated, then people might want to have your semen. They might not want that vaccinated semen anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm working now. As soon as I get off the podcast, I'm building up a supply. I'm starting a website.
He's going to be called
That way,
Brendan the
that way they won't-
Spackler Haggerty.
That way the government won't be able to find you.
That's right. And I'll have this picture as my my profile picture.
And Bill Gates will never know when you have an erection.
I don't care if he does or doesn't.
Well, if you don't care, we'll let him know.
I'll send him pictures if you have his email.
Dick
Mr.
pics.
Gates, Mr. Gates, I have a friend of yours here today. His name is Brendan. He has something he wants to show you.
Mm-hmm.
He thought you wanted to know because of the microchips and the vaccines. He
Do
wanted to
really-
save you the trouble.
Being down here in Florida, since we're on the subject, there is a lot of that crazy. Like, I saw some video where this lady was claiming that the vaccine was going to allow her, was magnetizing her. Have you heard about this? And she had a spoon, and she was trying to stick the spoon to herself, and then finally, somehow she got it to stick on her nose or something like that little trick you did in middle school. And she's like, see? I'm like, what is wrong with people these days?
She probably tried to 20 different parts of her body, and just on that one time, it's like, see, see.
Yeah, I know that's totally what happened.
Times.
She put it on her cheek, and then she kind of stuck it on her chin, and then finally she kind of did the nose thing, and I'm like, now I know that trick. Don't even go there.
That's
Well,
a
it's the
scientific
fact that
method.
she's so smart that she would use that as her example. She expects that other people would fall for it also, which means that somebody made her fall for it as well.
Well, there's people out there that might actually fall for it though.
Sure, they're also like drinking bleach to kill it, and taking horse dewormer as well because Joe
All
Rogan
right.
said it was okay.
All right.
Oh my God.
Hold on.
Oh, I didn't hear that one.
Let's-
Did Joe Rogan really say that?
Let's not be
My lighter
Rachel.
is
Let's not be
stuck to my
Rachel
forehead.
Maddow for a second. Ivermectin is not just horse dewormer,
Sure.
and it's used as a traditional medicine for a lot of people. Whether it's any good for COVID, whatever, but the really the
It's
idea
more
that you're
fun to call it horse dewormer, Brendan. I know it's an anti-parasitologist
And it's used-
creation.
and it's used by humans.
It is used by humans, but what's happened is because there was a run on the human variety, people were going to the animal stores to pick up lots of quantities that are used for horses, and that's where that came from.
And you read that on.
I read that in a number of. Oh, actually, I saw a number of interviews of people who had supply stores where that was happening.
Did you see the Rolling Stone article where they said they were turning away gunshot victims because people were ODing on ivermectin from Rolling Stone?
I did not see that article.
Oh, yeah, it's total bullshit. But anyway.
Okay, so you picked an article I didn't read.
Happen?
If Matt saw that article, he wouldn't care because he has no empathy for other people. So,
Oh, I forgot. Never mind.
Well, I am concerned that you have a lighter in your eyeball, Greg.
No, it's the magnetization. I got the vax. And the
Oh.
lighter just jumped up into my face.
Is that what happened?
I'm magnetized, I think.
The plastic part of it is magnetized?
No, the metal part.
Then it would just be sticking straight out if that was the case.
Let me try to. Oh, it's hard to pull out. It's so magnetized. Oh,
Make sure it doesn't pull your eyeball out with it.
I know. Whew.
So once again, I have to ask Wise, did you have any questions for us? Is there something you want to know?
Well, you answered.
Have you figured out yet why we do the podcast?
I asked where did y'all come up with the idea for the show, and you told Brendan to do it, and he did not have an idea. Where did y'all come up with the law office of Quibble, Squabble, and Bicker?
We're going nowhere fast. That's where we're going.
Well, I'm wondering if you figured out why we decided to start recording it.
No,
It's because this is how our normal conversations go, Wise.
Yeah,
So it was essentially the concept of sometimes things get funny, and it would be a shame for it to be lost to the universe. And so having it recorded at least keeps it available for posterity's sake for someone to go, oh, that was slightly amusing today for me.
I think it's more apt to say sometimes things go stupid. That's a better.
Well, that's not a sometimes. That's an every time.
Yeah, that's
The sometimes is the funny part. The all the time is the stupid part.
I've never heard that, but I'm waiting for a funny thing. It's usually just stupid.
Well, that there are funny things because each of you say something funny that I laugh at.
No, I do laugh sometimes, but because they're so stupid. That's why I laugh.
Wow. This is a ringing endorsement. Tune in, everybody, and listen to a stupid show that has no purpose.
Yeah,
thanks and good night.
That's our selling point. We're the goofiest, stupidest podcasts.
That's our selling point.
Yeah.
It's self-deprecation theater.
The lowest common denominator. Usually
no, I bet you they're sillier and more stupid. Maybe we should do a thing and see maybe the top 10 stupidest podcasts ever. You know, see what we can find out, and then see if we could be on their shows.
I think we'd have to define. We would have to define what stupid really is.
What would be stupid? Yeah, like what would you consider to be the stupidest podcast?
Podcast.
I don't. Yeah, Greg's could be in the ring, but no, you have to remove yourself. You can't have your podcast be part of it. I don't know what would be stupid. You know, you're right. There are kind of like categories of dumb. You know, like dumb because it's nonsensical, dumb because it's incoherent. I don't know.
Because they're QAnon podcasts.
No, I don't think so. That's.
It would have to be a stupid QAnon podcast.
It'd have to be a stupid one, you know, where like it's a couple of guys in a trailer park and they're drunk, and I mean, you know, some of those QAnon people.
I think you're talking about.
What? What'd you say, Greg?
No, I thought I was describing a certain podcast. we love. But I'm not going to say it.
They're not in a trailer park.
They're not in a trailer park. They got more sophisticated shit than we do, and they certainly aren't QAnon people. I'm gonna send those guys a DM and tell them you're slamming their show right before you go on it.
To them in half an hour. I'm gonna
let them know you're bashing on them and say they look like they're in a trailer park and they're QAnon supporters.
They'd probably appreciate it, honestly.
Yeah,
they might.
Wise, we're referring to a podcast called the Happy Hour News Team. It's a couple of guys based out of North Dakota.
They're like our sister podcast, or brother podcast.
They're like our mascot, is what they are. They've one of their guys has been listening to us since our second episode, since even before Brendan even came on. They've been listening to our show, and we had him on our show where I asked him, why would you do that to yourself? And he's one guy's a welder, so he listens to podcasts all day, but for some reason he got sucked into our madness. Maybe I think really it's because Greg gets really drunk whenever we're doing the show, and there's an appeal about that. You know, that or they like hearing me badmouth Greg throughout the course of a show. I don't know.
Nobody likes that, Matt.
No, maybe
your sister likes it.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to break it down, guys. This is what we should do. Top 10 drunken podcasts. Let's find the top 10 podcasts done by drunk people.
I win. I don't think
there's a few of those. There's definitely a few of those out there where guys. I think you have to combine it with drunken and stoned, though.
All right. I got something for us to do. I have a game for us to play.
A game. It's where your hand disappears behind a box.
Yes, it disappears. All right. What is your favorite microwavable food?
I thought we were playing a game. What's the prize?
I'm on 16 minutes.
There's no prize.
I'm going with frozen burritos. I'm saying the burrito is the best microwavable food. Yes.
No, the tortilla gets all nasty. You gotta bake that shit. You don't want a tortilla microwave.
So
he
said it was his favorite, Greg, not your favorite.
I know,
Greg.
but he's wrong. I'm just letting him know
he's wrong about what's his personal favorite.
Yeah.
What's his favorite?
Exactly.
So enlighten us, Meisterburger. You're the food. You're the fast food expert. What the hell is the best microwavable food?
No, we didn't microwave shit at my job. We cook things on the grill. I'm saying.
Well, answer the goddamn question, Greg.
Answer the question, drunk.
Is anything that's like has no bread in it? Like when you microwave any kind of bread.
That's not a food. Anything that has no bread in it is broccoli.
No, or buffalo wings.
Breaded buffalo wings? Obviously, naked buffalo wings is what you're talking about.
I'm just saying that,
So, what's your favorite microwave food, Greg?
Matt, give an answer. Popcorn is
not popcorn.
Oh, Jesus. I was going to go with popcorn wise, but I thought, that's kind of a given. That's like, what's your favorite position? Everybody's, but popcorn is easy. I was trying to think of something a little more off the immediate radar because you can't screw up popcorn. I mean, in fact, if you don't have a microwave, you're buying popcorn in a bag. No one does the Jiffy Pop on the stove bullshit, except the hipsters in Portland. They might do it because it's ironic or something, but
it's retro.
It's retro, and they'll play a vinyl record, and they'll grease their mustache or their top knot or something. But popcorn is a good one.
Greg, are you gonna answer it?
Yeah.
The Portlandians will make a dessert in an easy bake oven. They'll make, here's cake.
Answer.
But what's your favorite microwave food, Greg?
I don't know. I microwave lots of things. I don't know. Chicken. I thaw things.
Chicken.
There we go. Chicken. There we go. Chicken is his answer.
Chicken is the answer.
Food. Like I don't need Hot Pockets and shit like that. I don't do that.
I can tell you're
too good for Hot Pockets.
Yeah, look how healthy I look. I eat healthy food.
He's too good for Hot Pockets.
All right, Matt.
For me, it's not a microwavable food per se. It's basically I like to reheat leftovers in the microwave.
Oh yeah.
So like today, I had a couple of grilled Louisiana hot sausages and some sautéed mushrooms that I had made yesterday, and so then I microwaved those and then I melted some cheddar cheese over top of it, and that was my dinner for today.
I want that right
Okay.
now. I'm so
Okay.
hungry.
Most of that was what was microwaved. So
That sounds so
Time
good.
out. So we're just talking about whatever, because that's not a microwavable food. Like, oh, if that's the criteria. I cooked up a really mean tiki masala a couple of weeks ago, and I warmed that leftovers up, and it was fantastic. It was way better than a frozen burrito for sure.
well, was that a tropical dish? A tiki masala, huh?
Yeah, tiki masala. Look it up, Dick.
Well, normally I look it up.
T-I-K-I.
Normally it comes up under tikka masala, but tiki
No,
masala I think is more fun because it has pineapple in it.
T-I-K-I. Anyway, this is a diversion because he didn't answer the fucking
I think it's
question. which is-
Tikka, isn't it? Yes, it's
No, that's
Tikka masala. Tikka masala is the actual term
That's
for
not
that
the way
food.
that's not the way they spell it in India. So anyway, my point is you didn't answer the question. You just
They
gave a
spell it in
cop out.
Sanskrit. They spell it in Sanskrit in India.
You gave a cop out answer, and I called you out on it, and now you're changing the subject.
I
Typical
don't know how it's a
Matt.
cop-out answer. It was my answer. But if you want like a food that's made
Yeah.
for microwaves,
Yes, that's
well,
what
I
we're
mean, we'll
looking
have to
for.
get from Wise. Wise, what exactly are you looking for the criteria for this answer? Because I'll give it to you, regardless of whatever Brendan's weird
It
conspiracy
really
theory
doesn't
is.
really matter. Anything you don't mind microwaving in the oven. That's it. That's microwave oven. That's it.
Pizza. There you go.
There we go,
Microwavable pizza. I'll do that in the microwave. I'll do burritos. I'll do chimichangas.
No,
I'll do
you
whatever
don't
in the
do that.
microwave. What's
No,
wrong,
microwave
Greg? Greg, you eat from
pizza.
dumpsters. What the fuck are you talking about?
No, but I
All right,
stand
okay.
with-
Greg
Greg, you ate
has no answer.
garbage. How do you have
I
standards
did.
of any kind?
But I would eat a microwave pizza, but it's not as good as baking it. Like it makes the crust crispy, and it's way better.
Well, you
That
have to get
wasn't-
those pizzas that come with the little silvery plates on them, and they microwave better.
Oh yeah,
Does that
Totinos?
work? I don't ever feel like
It-
that
It works better than not having it. Let's just put it
Yeah,
that way.
it does.
It makes it
All
a
right.
little bit crispier, but it's still a bit doughy.
I'm gonna full disclosure. I haven't had a microwave in my house for almost 15 years.
What?
Yeah,
How do
we've
you
got
live?
we've got two microwaves.
I have no microwave. I buy popcorn in a bag.
Remember, it's basically because he's against modern technology, Greg.
Yep.
All right.
It's like the
He does
vaccine.
Jimmy
Next
Pop.
question. Next question. Let's go to the next question.
Okay,
Good.
you already caused enough controversy. Hell, F.A.
I know you're like Mike Wallace.
He's tried to break us apart.
What's the scariest sound you could hear in the middle of the night?
The scariest sound I could hear in the middle of the night. Greg, because if I was in bed and I heard him, I'd be frightened.
It's
'Cause
funny. I was
he
gonna say.
shouldn't be in my house.
I was gonna say you. Because you trigger me.
I don't know that I'm scared by any sounds, honestly.
It doesn't happen.
Whether they're in the middle of the night or whatever, but I'm usually up in the middle of the night, so that's the difference as well.
I'm gonna again give an actual answer, Wise, because I feel like your question deserves one. I would say as a parent, your child like screaming bloody murder, like maybe they had a nightmare or whatever, they fell and hurt themselves. But a child screaming out is probably the scariest thing.
Yeah,
I mean, would it be
wouldn't know
scary
about
or just something you need to deal with?
It's
The scariest sound. The
It's
scariest.
a scary sound.
that. It
Eh.
could be
You're scared because there could be hurt or in
Yeah,
trouble.
but you're not actually frightened by that. You're like, okay, there's an issue I got to handle. Let's go fix it. That's
You could
basically
be
what.
frightened, man.
Well,
You could
I
be-
know you're an Uber man, so you don't get scared.
Yeah.
No, and it's all some Spock bullshit about well, you wouldn't be afraid that your child would. You'd rationally go in the middle of the night, wake up and go, let me assess the situation, and this is a threat analysis and it's a code 7. Yeah, I'm sure that's how it works
Yeah, so
at the
Freddy
Barachi
Krueger,
house.
if Freddy Krueger was in your child's bedroom, Matt would just be like, "Oh, let's deal with the situation calmly and coolly."
Uh-oh, we've lost Brendan. Brendan was in the middle of an excellent rant, too. It sucks to see him go.
I don't know if it was a rant. I thought it was a justifiable kind of.
Well, I want to answer this one myself. What is the
Please
scariest
do.
sound you could hear in the middle of the night? Well, when I was younger, it would have been the condom breaking.
You can hear that?
You can hear
I
the
never heard
snapping
it.
of the
Yeah.
condom breaking.
Well, not really. What it would be
It's
more
like you were like having
the-
sex with
the
a
more- the
gaping
more-
chasm, like
it
that
would
had
the,
an
the-
echo.
no, the more it would be like the sound. It would be more like her saying, "Oh my god, I think the condom broke," and you're
Oh,
like,
got it.
"Oh
Okay.
shit!"
Because I was thinking, if you actually heard it, that would mean that what you were having sex
No,
with was like this
The
giant
the,
gaping
sound would
echo
be the sound
chamber.
would be her saying the sound would be her saying, "Oh my god, I think the condom broke," and it would
Right.
that would be the scariest sound to me.
When you say her, do you mean your wife?
Well, this is hypothetically. This is like if say I was single.
When you were hypothetically younger.
When I was younger, yes, when I was younger.
You didn't.
Now-
You didn't specify like how young was
Yeah, I
younger.
didn't
'cause
specify
that.
that.
Could
Let me
have been like
specify
an
that
hour
because-
ago, for all we know.
But you know what? I'm not really worried because she doesn't watch my show.
Okay. Yeah. Mine doesn't watch ours, but she eavesdrops while we record.
Like 2 or 3 times the condom broke with me, and I was so non-cognizant. I was just like, why does this feel so good all of a sudden? This is like, wow, this feels great.
I'm sure.
So for you
were
and the
drunk
condom
at the
breaks,
time as
Greg,
well.
it's like the thing just deteriorates into like crumbs,
No, it
and so
just-
suddenly the sensation is
2
perfect.
times in my life, yeah, the condom broke, and it was just a ring of the base of the condom around my cock. When I pulled it out, I was like, oh, that's why
God.
it felt so good.
God, can we
That
please
time.
change the conversation? Like, answer the scariest.
Brendan's back.
Wait, Brendan,
You
Brendan, to bring you up to speed, I was talking about the ring of.
I didn't miss a single part of anything you said, dude. I'm gonna have to drink so much now to get to sleep tonight. I don't know what.
Oh, come
Why-
on.
Well, it
why is
happened because Wise brought it up initially, and Greg was adding on to the
Hasn't that
concept.
ever happened to you, Brendan? The condom broke, and you're like, you didn't know,
Answer-
but it was like, why? Does this feel good
Greg.
all of a sudden?
Greg, what's the scariest noise, Greg? Is it Matt?
No, I don't know. I've never really had a scary noise, but I'm just saying we were talking.
Is it a frozen burrito, Greg?
That was cooked in a microwave.
It was cooked in a
It was
microwave.
tainted? Yeah, by the microwave. No,
All I know is that
never-
we're causing Wise to keep looking at the time because he's like, "When's this going to be fucking over?"
No, I think he's
So
looking
that's
for
like,
another
I'm looking at the
question.
next card.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
let's go to the next
card-
question.
You have cards? You have a crutch?
Yes.
What the hell?
Are
We
you
thought
doing
this was a
tarot
well-run
on this?
show.
Are you doing a tarot?
Hey,
Done
listen,
entirely
I never
extemporaneously.
said it was directly off my head. No.
You were prepared, and that's wrong. Yeah, just pick one at random.
Okay.
Just take something from the middle of the stack.
Something from the middle. All right.
Yeah, just pick
If
anything
you
from
can
the middle
marry
of
a
the stack.
fictional character, who would it be?
If I could marry a fictional character, who would it be?
Jessica Rabbit, right off the bat. I got that one.
That's not a bad
Yeah,
choice.
I think I would probably go
That's
for
a
one
good
that was
choice.
like human as opposed to a cartoon, though.
No, she's better than human. No human ever looked that good. She's the ideal hot woman.
I'm going to go full nerd on this one. I'm going to go Galadriel from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, nice choice. No, that's a good choice. I was
So that
thinking of
makes
some
you
of those.
Gimli?
No,
Gimli?
Gimli. I'm a dwarf.
I'm going to go with Catwoman from Batman.
Oh, that'd be dangerous.
Good choice.
I know.
She might wear a diaper too.
Would it be the
Yeah,
Michelle
well,
Pfeiffer Catwoman?
No, Julie
Oh.
Newmar. Please say
No, no.
Julie Newmar.
No,
Halle
not
Berry.
Julia. I think Halle Berry.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't-
God, she was
I
so
wouldn't
hot
throw
in
it. I wouldn't turn either one of them away. But I think I don't know. That's a tough one. Anyway, I was thinking fictional. I wasn't thinking act. So Catwoman just seems like she'd be interesting, sneaking out at night,
Oh,
coming
yeah.
back, diamond thief, kind of dangerous. Maybe a little, Dom sort of thing in the bed. I don't know. It could be cool.
He likes the rubber suit.
Yeah.
So when I was a little boy and I watched Batman, I was like 7. I didn't even know what sex was, but Julie Newmar as Catwoman on the old Batman show, it made me feel funny in my bathing suit area. I didn't understand. I was like, what is this? Like, I had this weird S&M thing, I guess, when I was a kid.
What
I'm
is
not
she
that cute.
doing to me? But Eartha
pretty
Kitt didn't do
vanilla.
it for you?
But the fact that like she was just like, oh yeah, you're never gonna get me, and we're never gonna be together. It was like, so intriguing to me. And Julia Moore she's like one of the hottest women who's ever lived. I think to this day.
Actually not. She was not that attractive, Greg.
Are you serious?
Yes,
Are
I'm
you
serious. I am for me.
Frozen burrito. Next question.
All right, gentlemen.
Next question.
That was it for the questions. That was
no. Throw
questions.
one more at. This is fun. Throw one more at just for the hell of it.
All right. We'll do
Hey, one more from the middle of the stack.
And then Brendan said frozen burrito, and my boner just went away. That was
Good. That was the whole intent.
Yeah, thank you.
Frozen boner.
That's our word
All
now.
right. Okay. Have
Safe
you
word.
ever licked a battery?
Licked a battery? No.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
What?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, of course you do.
You've never
Just
taken
make
like
sure it works.
the D battery, the square rectangle one, and touched it to your tongue to see what was live?
The battery?
You talking about a 9-volt?
Yeah, 9 volt.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. Yeah, with the two things on top, and you put it on your tongue.
No, I've never done that.
What?
Well,
No.
You
the,
don't know
the
what you're missing, man.
robot. Yeah, the robot known as Matt has never done a
Yeah.
thing. Everyone on Earth has probably done once in his life.
My saliva does not interact. My robotic saliva does not interact with battery. I cannot do this.
I am not
I'm a
like
cyborg.
normal humans. I do not have the same life experiences. Mine are different than yours.
I am the Borg.
Well, yeah.
One of the Borg.
I mean, I did once put a paper clip into a plug and then plugged it into an outlet and watch the sparks fly, but that's not the same
Okay,
thing.
that's just dumb. That's crazy.
Well, that was
Why would you do
that was elementary school, and I didn't know that would happen.
Okay. But licking a battery, you got to do that sometimes. You got to see if it works.
I have no reason to do it. That never been a desire of mine.
Do 9-volt batteries go in anything anymore except for fucking smoke alarms? I only have 9-volt batteries because of smoke alarms.
I think you're right. It's just smoke alarms.
Actually, there was something recently that I had to put a 9-volt battery in that was not a smoke alarm for once, but I can't recall what it was. I think
you have an old school. You have an old school alarm clock then. That's
no,
the
it
only
wasn't
other
that.
one.
I don't remember what it was. I can't remember. Anyway, Wise is I wanted to end off on the questions, so.
Yep. Now
What
it's
else?
just time for you guys. Now it's we're coming to an end.
He's basically saying get the fuck out, is what he's saying now.
Yeah, I'm kicking you off. But no,
So
just let everybody know
I'm tired of you
where's
ranting
your
bastards.
website, your Instagram. Just plug away right quick.
We are. Go ahead, Greg.
I'm kidding. I don't know.
You still can't remember our website?
I don't
Such
know.
a fucking dumbass.
QSBlawoffices.org.gov.
Close. You got the .org part, but it's QSB Law, like LAW.org, and that basically connects you to all of our previous episodes, and there's links to all of our social media because we're on lots of things. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. We're on something called UHive, which is a cryptocurrency social media place.
Sperm bank.
And we're the QSP Law Sperm Bank. Greg will take all donations, send them to his house. It's totally okay, and nothing frozen. It all has to be fresh. So send those to Greg's house as well. But www.qsblaw.org. We publish typically every Thursday morning is when our show comes out. And we usually have interesting guests or not so interesting guests, and we do a lot of what's going on right now and how we abused Wise through this entire episode. This is kind of how the show goes.
This is what they do throughout their whole entire show. So if you enjoyed this chaos today, then their show is definitely for you.
If you enjoyed the chaos today, then yeah, that's kind of like where you need to go.
That sounds like an early 90s song by Nine Inch Nails. Enjoy the chaos.
Where you need to go.
Nine Inch Nails. New album. Enjoy the chaos.
They would never use enjoy.
No,
You're
they
right.
wouldn't. Yeah.
Despair the chaos.
They want to fuck you like a chaos is what they would do.
Okay. Well, anyway, Wise, it was good.
All right, gentlemen, I appreciate you being on the show. It's been
Once
great.
again, I never
Thank
understand
you,
why
Wise.
people want to talk to us because I know it happens. But I'm glad you put up with us. giving us an additional forum to argue with each other.
You took one
So-
for the
It's-
team, Wise, for the podcast.
Yes, I did.
Team.
It's fine. It's for the.
Hopefully this will
for the
cause your
community.
ratings to go through the roof.
No, hopefully.
Oh man,
he'll
I
just, like,
expect
erase this episode.
this because this actually the video is going out before the audio, so I'm hopefully this gets go crazy on YouTube.
The video's going out before the audio, so no one's going to be able to hear anything. They're just going to see our lips moving.
No, I
Yeah.
meant as far as
Wise, trust me, don't even acknowledge what he just said. Just
Go
move
to
on.
burrito.
Thanks for having us.
Burrito.
Go Giants! I hope you guys take the NFC East.
Go Giants, normal sized people, little people, people of all sizes. Go, go. Super
Thank
Giants.
you, gentlemen.
Bye.
All right, so
Bye.
now it's time for shout outs. All right, I need you to be quiet a minute, Greg, okay? Just one minute.
I can do that. I can behave.
It's
Just
a
for a
good thing you
minute.
said. It's a good thing you said something though, Wise. Trust me.
Yes.
All right, it's time for shout outs. Big shout out to my Real Wise fam, Brandy J, Poppy J, love you guys. Big shout out to the boss lady, Fina. Love you, baby, and appreciate you. And as always, a big shout out to all the essential workers out there. God bless you. Be safe. And you know how your boy Wise does it. Peace out.
Thanks for listening. Listen on iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, and TuneIn. Find us on social media on Twitter at wise_b_blunt, Instagram at wise_b_blunt, and a Facebook fan page, www.facebook.com/wise76. Check back soon for new episodes. Until next time, peace out.
Okay.